The recent confrontation between US President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in the Oval Office has sent shockwaves across Europe. The geopolitics in Europe is in upheaval. The world on camera saw tensions flare over military aid, Ukraine's strategic role, and broader NATO commitment, and all this has raised fundamental questions about Europe's security, architecture, and reliability on the US support. This development is reshaping the alliance's defense policies and continent's diplomatic priorities, leading to significant realignment in European politics.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning.
I know.
You're not winning this.
I...
You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of
Mr.
us.
President,
The Trump-Zelensky clash has exacerbated existing transatlantic tensions. Trump's approach to European security has long been marked by skepticism towards NATO. Demands for increased European defense spending and transactional view of alliances. His dissatisfaction with Ukraine's request for sustained military assistance reflects a broader US reluctance to bear the burden of European security. This dispute has reinforced European concerns about unpredictability of US foreign policy. While the previous administration, including Biden's, reaffirmed Washington's commitment to NATO and Ukraine, Trump's stance has introduced uncertainty. European leaders already vary after his earlier criticisms of NATO and reluctance to support Kyiv are now considering alternative security arrangements. The fallout from the Oval Office incident has accelerated discussions on European strategic autonomy. The European Union has long debated the necessity of reducing its reliance on US military support, but Trump-Zelensky dispute has made this conversation more urgent. France and Germany have taken the lead in advocating for more autonomous European defense strategy. The French President Emmanuel Macron, who previously described NATO as a brain dead, has renewed calls for an independent European security framework. The European Defence Fund and permanent structured cooperation are being reinforced to enhance Europe's defence capabilities. Joint European military exercises, intelligence sharing initiatives, and increased investment in defence industry are gaining momentum. Despite Brexit, United Kingdom has re-emerged as a key security player on the continent. The United Kingdom and France have pledged a joint military reassurance force to support Ukraine, signaling a commitment to counterbalance United States' uncertainty. London is also engaging more closely with Baltic and Nordic nations through defense agreements outside the EU framework. While Trump's wavering stance on Ukraine has weakened US-Ukraine ties, it has paradoxically strengthened European unity on the issue. European leaders, fearing that a divided response could embolden Russia, have redoubled their efforts to support Kyiv. Germany and Poland have taken more prominent roles in military aid, supplying Ukraine with advanced weaponry and logistical support. Scandinavian nations, including Sweden and Finland, have deepened their security cooperation with Ukraine, particularly after their NATO accession. The European Union has committed additional financial aid packages to sustain Ukraine's economy and war effort. The Trump-Zelensky clash, which signaled hesitation from Washington, has emboldened Russian narratives that Western support for Ukraine is weakening. Russia has intensified its hybrid warfare tactics, including cyber attacks and disinformation campaigns to deepen divisions within NATO and the EU. Moscow is fostering close ties with countries skeptical of prolonged support for Ukraine. If United States continue to show hesitancy in supporting Ukraine, Russia may push its advantage further, betting on a divided and a weakened NATO response. The Trump-Zelensky dispute underscores NATO's existential challenge, maintaining cohesion amid shifting US priorities. If Washington continues to retreat from its leadership role in European security, NATO may face an identity crisis. French and Germany are calling for an independent European security pillar within NATO, potentially leading to a two-tier alliance structure. Eastern European nations, particularly Poland and Baltic states, are seeking stronger bilateral defense pacts outside the NATO, anticipating a less reliable US commitment. Turkey's position within NATO remains uncertain as Ankara seeks to balance its Western ties with growing engagement with Russia and China. NATO's credibility as a deterrent force will depend on how effectively it can reassure members of its long-term security commitments despite US unpredictability.